Hi, my name is Dr. Karen May, and welcome to Empower Hour. Today, we're actually going to do a book review, and it is by a wonderful researcher, and her name is Dr. Joan Vernikos. She wrote a book many years ago called Sitting Kills, Moving Heals. And I know you're thinking, oh, a book review. Please hear me on this. Because people who have neuropathy, we don't move a lot. The pain is pretty intense and severe. And so I want to give you some small application steps, and it'd be worth actually reading her book as well so you can understand the full research behind it. But I'm going to read a little bit of her bio here. It says, Dr. Vernikos was the former director of NASA's Life Science Division. And what does that mean? She was responsible for the health of the astronaut here on Earth prior to flight, then while they were in space. And so she was measuring the weightlessness, or how lack of gravity, what did it do to the body? And then when they got back here on Earth, what could she do? Plus, she developed some crazy stuff too, and she's just a really smart woman. I had the pleasure of listening to her at a conference many years ago, and also meeting her very briefly. And I'm telling you, very intelligent woman, and she gives a very simple application of how sitting kills and moving heals, and what you can do today, even if it is every ounce of pain. But the title under the book, it says how simple everyday movements will prevent pain, illness, and early death that even exercise alone won't. So hopefully that piques your interest, because most people who have a form of neuropathy, if their balance is bad, the pain is too intense, the thought process of exercising, walking, daily household chores can sometimes be just unbearable, holding, gripping, all unbearable. So we're talking about simple things that will help you start on a better path. So here's a little understanding of what she's measuring. So again, 40 plus years at NASA, smart woman. She was measuring, and she discovered that movements that resist the force of gravity is essential for good health. In weightlessness, the astronauts, who are far fitter than the average adult, seem to rapidly age. Their muscles, bones, and overall health degenerate to levels usually seen in the elderly people. Dr. Vernikos found that keeping subjects at rest and immobile, what do you do every day if you don't leave your couch or your bed? Which is an extreme form of the typical American lifestyle. It's extreme, but when you're hurt, it's tough. They cause the same health problems as if you were in space. So, looking at moving forward, she describes stuff as G habits, or gravity habits. These are the little things that we do in life. It's you see a piece of lint on the floor, you bend over and pick it up. The sitting to standing, to get up, to go answer the phone, to walk to the bathroom. Used to be to change the channel on the TV, but we don't have to do that anymore. Getting up to get a glass of water, use the bathroom, go to get the mail. Simple gravity habits. Those are the ones that she is talking about. So she has a chart in her book that literally, I have a printout, but literally compares, I don't think you can see it fabulously, astronauts in space, and then the changes on Earth with age. So there's so many things that in the developed world that people really feel it's because we're getting older. So these are a couple of them. Flabby muscles, stooped posture, reduced force or explosive power, abnormal reflexes, increased fatigability, decreased cardiac output, that means heart, decreased heart stroke volume, that means the amount of blood coming out of your heart, increased body fat that replaces muscle, reduced sensitivity to insulin, decreased testosterone, aching joints, tender soles in the bottom of your feet getting out of bed, a sluggish gut, or slower gut transit time, and urinary incontinence. So guess what? Astronauts in space experience that. That's the list I was reading from. And guess what? Those are the exact same things that people complain of as they age. So crazy that she was able to compare astronauts in space to an older population. So now let's fast forward. And she talks a lot about, kids and things like that in her book too, and just the decline in activity among kids. Now let's take sedentary lifestyle with you working. So most people are working and they sit at a desk. Now there's lots of sit-stand desk options. Now people are sitting down and not moving from their comfy chair or what they think is their comfy chair, or they get in bed and are in bed for hours upon hours because you just have to get off your feet. So as she says, people in the developed world who work at desks, watch TV, and move far too little have experienced a steady increase in serious illnesses such as obesity, diabetes, heart disease, osteoporosis, muscle wasting, arthritis, balance and coordination problems, poor sleep, and lack of stamina. These disorders, once believed to be consequences of aging, are now appearing much earlier in life, even in children. So we're not talking about the gotta get up, gotta move, gotta go exercise for 3 hours, do anything extreme, because it seems like a lot of people, it's all or none. There's not this little bit of in between. And when it's a use it or lose it principle. So if you're not moving with your body, you will lose it. And so it's sometimes mentally very tough to get over that fear of falling, fear of the uncomfortableness of the pain of taking the steps. There's so much that then it's just easier to be sedentary. So you heard everything that I talked about. So literally laying flat, sitting down, not standing up and letting gravity pull you down has these unintended massive health consequences that we just call aging. And it's not true. You can do so much. So we talk about healing from the inside out. Dr. Vernikos is her book title, Sitting Kills. You can't say it any more plain than that. Moving heals. She also said, when I heard her, standing heals. So in the process, what are some simple things that you can do? The formula that she gave when I heard her speak was literally, if you sit for 30 minutes, all you got to do is stand for 30 seconds. We'll talk about how to stand here in just a minute and posture, but 30 minutes of sitting, 30 seconds of standing. That's somebody's favorite TV show in a half an hour stint. That is a game show. That's usually a podcast. That can be a devotional. It's about 30 minutes. Set a timer on your phone. Set it on the stove, so you have to get up and turn it off, but literally 30 seconds. But 30 seconds is actually a little longer than people think. They think, I just sit down, I stand up, stretch my arms up, and we're done. Actually, it's no different than washing your hands. 2 times through of happy birthday is 20 seconds. That's what we're supposed to do. So sing happy birthday 3 times. If you are still working, that means if you're in the office, getting up and walking to the printer. That may mean getting up and walking to get a drink of water, standing at the sink, grabbing the water, drinking it, and then going and sitting down. 30 seconds is a little longer than what most of you anticipate. But you can't sit for 3 hours and then expect 3 hours of exercise to undo it. That's not the right combination. It's literally 30 seconds of sitting. The effects on the body can be undone by 30 seconds of standing. So know that is the magic number. Set a timer. Now let's talk about how getting up and those gravity exercises or those G exercises that she's talking about. That's literally sitting to standing. And in some previous Empower Hours, I talked about that. I talked about building that leg strength and muscle, that using your chair just to stand up and sit down. Most people have to throw their body forward in order to get enough momentum to get to stand up. Trying to do it or have to usually really push their arms to help them stand up. It's starting a little at a time. So start paying attention to how many times do you get up and down out of your chair during the day. Now, when you do get up, you will hear me say this many times, especially if you're walking with a cane or a walker. I want you to, if that's what it's going to take to be safe. But you have to make certain that when you are walking with a cane or a walker, it's the appropriate height. How many times do you see those people who are hunched over, looking down, and so everything is rounded? Their whole back is just rounded. You got to get upright. So it's military posture. It's standing up, tucking your tailbone under, kind of squeezing your butt cheeks together, and then tightening your abs a little bit so that way you're using your core to stand up, and then pull your head back. You notice that good posture. Most people are forward head carriage. That extra weight and pressure, it just creates so much tension on your neck and your head. So if you can get it so that your ear canal lines up with the tip of your shoulder, and yes, I probably have a double chin, and you probably are going to too. As you get a little older, I do have some looser skin, so it's okay. Get back. And you notice I'm not tipping my head back. I'm just tipping it straight back. So if you can get upright, literally take a minute, stand up straight, and then walk. And so if you get up and upright and you're holding your cane at your side where you're supposed to and it's not touching the ground, you need a taller cane. Same thing with your walker. You may need a taller walker so that way you're not bent over. So getting in the right upright posture is important. So even if it's just getting upright and working on your posture for 30 seconds and then sitting back down, fine. But if you can then walk to go get that glass of water. I was talking with a person this morning. There's an internal alarm we can set. Not everyone's comfortable with it, but if we drink more water, we'll have to get up to pee. So that's an internal way that you can get up and get moving too, is because you just do it early in the day so you don't have to pee all night. But if you do that, then it means you have to get up, walk to the bathroom, sit down, and well, for us ladies, and then walk back. So please understand that 30 minutes of sitting and the effects on the body can be undone by 30 seconds of standing. But when you get there, we want you upright. We want your shoulders back. We want your head back. We want you stable, and then walk. Keep it simple. Those are the G exercises, the getting up and getting down. It's the walking to the mailbox. It's if you're comfortable enough and can shovel. It's all the little daily activities that we start to slowly stop because we're uncomfortable. So if you can't go for a walk for hours on end or even a half an hour, 30 seconds every half an hour is all it's going to take. I'm going to really encourage you to, I'll put some information in the show notes here, but it's a great book and it's pretty simple, but there's just some good PDFs and she gives some more. I'll attach the PDF that I found about her book, but there's also some great YouTube videos of her talking about it too. Keep it simple. So if you combine that movement, which is sometimes all that people can do, with an anti-inflammatory nutrition, so using food as medicine, those are two big building blocks to your overall health. That's literally 85% of your overall health. 70% is what you put into your mouth. About 15% is movement. 5% is stuff you can't change. It's called epigenetics. It means it's stuff that's in the environment that's actually changing us. And 10% is genetic. So you have control over 85% of your overall health. You do. It starts by one bite at a time and one 30-second session of standing at a time. Thank you so much. And make certain you comment. Tell us all your wins about how you're doing it. And we look forward to seeing you soon.